How you doing, guys? Kyle Stallons here. Second video. Getting crazy. I know. Today, I'm going to take you through the 2-5-1s, and that's a pretty big topic, but we're just going to break it down. We're going to break it down into some usable functions you can do from the blues, from gospel music. I'm going to focus probably more on the blues and gospel music, since that's where it really comes up for me, and I use it all the time. It's country, gospel, blues, and some praise and worship. But let's go over that. I'm going to get you some information about that, and I'll put that in the links below. Obviously, if you're a jazzer, you know about Jamie Aebersold, and if you're not, then you should check that out. The whole book is called 2-5-1s. If you don't know what I'm talking about, 2-5-1s, then this video is for you. This is a way to navigate around chord changes that you always thought sounded so cool and wondered how they got there. It's about resolving, and it's about transferring, transitioning to different keys in a creative musical way. So let's get into it. One of the ways that 2-5-1s are helpful is when you are in a blues setting and you want to get from the 1 or from the tonic to the 4 or the subdominant. You'll see it all over blues music, you'll see it in jazz music, and you'll see it in gospel music. It's very common to have a 2-5-1 movement into the 4. And reason why I say into the 4 is because anytime you're coming into a chord, you can get to that chord through many options. Essentially, the 2-5-1 is a transition. First example we're going to look at is just a blues in the key of C. It's obvious, it's an easy piano key, but we're going to start there. C. Here we go, is a simple boogie woogie on the piano. Okay, so we're going to go into the key of F, which is the 4 chord of C. But in order to get there, we want to be creative. This is a very common blues movement. To get into the key of F, we're going to go up a step to the second scale tone, which is G. And when you build a chord off of the second scale tone in a major key, you're going to get a minor chord. And what we're going to use is there's 1, 3, 5. We're going to use flat 7. It's going to be a minor 7. Okay? G minor 7 is right here. 7, flat 3, 5. In the key of F, C is the 5th scale step. If we build a chord off the 5th scale tone of the key of F, we're going to have 1, 3, 5, flat 7. In the key of F, let's go over that. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. We're going to build a scale off the 2nd scale tone. G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, natural, G. So getting into this key, we're going to build a chord off the 2nd scale tone. G minor, C major. To use more of a jazzy or bluesy color, we're going to use flat 7 and dominant 7. To get back to that F. We'll get to blues scales, but just real quick, blues scale out of C, the key of C is 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. That is major blues. I'm sorry, that is minor pentatonic. Here is minor pentatonic with a blue note. Here's major blues. Let's get back into that 2-5-1. Now let me take you through more of a country and western transition. Here's a good country style. All right, so in country again. To the 4 chord of the key of E, you guessed it, A. Always remember, you can have getting into the 4 chord or getting into any chord. Go to the 2 of that chord, 2 of that key, sorry. 2 minor, 5 dominant, and into the 1. And lastly, I'm going to do something from the gospel genre. Let's take a look at something in the key of E flat that might be played in a gospel setting. So getting into the E flat major, going up to the 4 chord, which is A flat, 5 chord, B flat. I want to get to that A flat in a creative way, in a gospel way. Cool, so I want to get into, that's 5-1, and then here's 1, 5 minor. And essentially that 5 minor is also functioning as the 2 minor of A flat. Alright, so gospel is going to be very similar to the blues. A lot of the gospel, and I'm talking gospel music as coming from the African American church. And I am not a gospel player at all. I'm not going to claim to be a great gospel piano player. I have learned from my brothers over there in the gospel church. Okay, so I appreciate them so much. So much skill and so much soul. Let's take a look at something in the key of, let's just go to F, I'm sorry, key of E flat. All right, there you go, guys. There's a little tutorial for you for the 2-5-1 function in blues, country, and gospel music. Now, there's so much there. I just barely scratched the surface, and there are many ways to call it what it is. 2 minor, 5 minor, same thing. one of my best recommendations is to look at old recordings. I would go back and I would look at some of those old blues recordings. I would look at, obviously, some guitar players like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Great lesson in the blues, especially for improvisation. I would go back and listen to those old piano players, Art Tatum, Oscar Peterson, Buddy Powell, and so many others. Obviously Bill Evans, and many, many others. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but take a look at those guys and notice when they go 2 minor, 5 into the 4. It's a very common transition. So I hope that helps with you playing in your bands, playing at church, playing with your buddies, and getting into the 4 chord by way of 2-5-1s. This is Kyle Stallons signing out. Have a great day. Happy playing. Bye.